Hey guys, it's Nina
And Pam
of
of
Very
Berry
Besties.
Besties.
All right, we'll figure that out. We can always.
We'll figure that out.
Okay, so what's today's topic, Pam?
So, one of the things I was really just very aware of this past 4 days when we were at JBY, which I think you were too, was the amount of movement that we had. We were just constantly moving,
Yes.
and um, just the way my body felt and the way I was responding, I was in the best mood. I felt healthy. I felt less weighed down, you know, emotionally, physically, everything just came together. And it was
Yes.
because for 4 days we concentrated on nothing but Pam and Nina.
Yes.
We and
Absolutely.
and I know you can't do that in everyday life.
No.
We should, but we can't. So we just wanted to talk about movement today. I think that's one of the key components of bariatric surgery, success after bariatric surgery. Some of the motivational content that we have shared over the last a year, more than a year now, has been mainly about motivation in movement, getting your body moving. Movement is a celebration of what your body can do, not a punishment for what you ate. And that's one of the things that we sometimes do. I do it. We beat ourselves up. We have a great day, we have a great week, whatever, and then all of a sudden, we have a setback. Maybe we have that donut, or we have, a little piece of cake at a birthday party, and it just sets us back, and we just stop moving. We stop doing what we have been taught to do all along, and we punish ourselves. Every step counts, whether it's a short walk, stretching during a break, or dancing to your favorite song. We did a lot of dancing this
Yes, we
past
did.
weekend. I think it was either Friday or Saturday night. I remember looking at my watch and we had like 15,000
Oh
steps.
my gosh, it was crazy. We got into
Yes,
bed and
I
we're just
remember.
like, no wonder
Yeah,
our feet hurt.
I remember that moment when we were bowling and I was like, I ran over to you and Mel and Kelly and I'm like, I closed all my rings. And that was the best feeling because at that moment I realized that I had not closed all my rings in months. And
Mhm.
it's sad because that used to be my thing. I Every night I had to make sure, even if I had 1,000 steps left to go, I had to close all those rings. And I would walk around my house, I would go outside, I would dance, whatever I had to do to get those last movements in.
Yep.
You know, you got to make movement fun.
Hmm.
And, you
Absolutely.
know, I think we did that this week. What's some of the moments that you remember the most about movement during our last couple of days with JBY?
So we had the opportunity to work out with Lisa from Busy Bariatrics, and she corrected some of our form, and I think that was very helpful and really focused on slowing the movement down. You can have a smaller weight because you're new to this, and that's fine, but just making sure, like if you're doing arms, that your arm is tucked in beside you, that you're bringing it down in a 2 to 3, 4 motion back the same. You're giving it that same resistance. And then when you get to the higher weights, not to rush through it because your muscles are not having an opportunity to engage and to, actually start working. And then, I mean, I'll be honest, my shoulders and my arms were really sore for 2 or 3 days after actually doing it right. And I was like, that's how it's
Yes.
supposed to feel. Um, and after doing that, we went for a walk at the zoo for what, 2.5 hours.
Yes.
And then we went to the JBY family dinner and bowling, and we added the more arms to it. Oh my gosh! By the next morning, I was like, "Am I ever gonna? Can I pick
I
up
know.
fork?"
I was having
But
pain.
I know, but it was such a good feeling. And like you said, I haven't really focused on movement as much because again, work's getting in the way. Yes, we're working out together And I'm glad we have a new plan to do more workouts and actually get
Yeah.
outside, because I'm not an indoor workout person. I'm okay with it when it's the weather, but if it's nice outside, that's all I'm looking at is I want to be outside. So
Yeah.
I think the big thing is we've got movement in a place that we didn't know if we would have the opportunity to do it. And that was the walking around the zoo, the getting out, the bowling, the
Hmm.
just everything. And the dancing. I felt like I worked out more that night because we were moving our bodies constantly that night.
Hmm.
It was great and it was fun. And I think that's what you were just saying, but I think what everybody is like, oh, I've got to go work out. Because I look at it that way. I'm like, I mean, my husband's downstairs right now resetting up the workout room to make it a better place to work out. Just cleaner and not so, ugh. And I
Cluttered.
think making it fun, yeah. And I think making it fun, whether you dance, I mean, they have so many things that you can do on YouTube. If you don't have to have equipment, that's the other thing. People are like, I need to buy a gym membership. I need to buy a treadmill. I need to
No.
buy equipment. You don't. You can use your body, doing chair
Hmm.
yoga if you're new to working out, doing, low impact aerobics, getting outside, using your stairs. I have 3 front steps. And if you look back into the videos that I did last year, our first workout videos, I was just pumping up and down the steps. I was
Yep.
using steps to do lifted planks. We can find many ways. Go for a walk with your animal, or just go for a walk on your
Yes.
own, ride a bike. I mean, all those things.
Well, if you think, um, first year post-op,
Hmm.
what did we do? The only thing we
Bikes.
did was we walked.
We
We
did five
walked, we
Ks
walked, we
constantly.
walked. The second year we started the hiking, but that first year we walked. Every Saturday we met,
Yeah.
and the group of us, and we did 3 laps around, what was it? Where was it we went? The
Park that's in downtown Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
Pam,
So
yeah.
it was a 5K. Those
Hmm.
3 laps was a 5K.
Absolutely.
And we did that every Saturday, never failed. We did it 9 a.m. Then it was colder. We went at 11, but
Hmm.
regardless, we went every time.
Every weekend.
And we didn't even think about it. Every Saturday, that was our thing. We went, you know, um,
But we
you don't
also
need,
did more during the week as well. In addition to that, we were
yes.
still moving. We were keeping track of it,
Hmm.
and
We
we
were
were
walking
moving.
every night after dinner or before
Yes.
dinner. And that there was the key word. You just said it. What'd you say? We did what? What'd we do?
Track it.
We tracked it. Yeah, we were tracking it.
Track
And
your,
I think that's
yeah.
what we stopped doing. I stopped tracking my movement. I stopped, meal prepping and, taking, um, taking credit for the good in my day. And I started focusing on what I wasn't doing. And I, I stopped loving myself. Um, not meaning love, love, that kind of love, but just I stopped showing myself love, empathy, and care. Um, you know, every step matters,
Every step.
and every step, whether
Every
it's
step and every
like I
bite
said
matters.
earlier,
If we have to put them together, every step and every
yes,
bite matters. And
every step and every bite.
that's why
Um,
tracking, I think they talk about it so much, especially in the beginning. But once you get not to your goal, but once you get maybe post a year and after, you start getting comfortable and we start to let go of
mhm,
the strictness. And that's when we need it the most,
yes.
because that 1 year, the tool works for that 1 year.
Hmm.
Absolutely. That tool, you're going to be losing weight. It's going to be coming off, whether you are working out or not. I mean, you and I, 2 different people, had 2 different journeys in that first year. And I'm going
Yeah.
to talk about that in a second. But, that first year, you're going to lose weight one way or another because your tool's doing the job. Your tool starts to change a little bit because it will increase in size over time naturally. The stomach will
Hmm.
increase in size. And so your restriction is not as great. So by adding in the exercise, you're going to counterbalance some of that extra food that you're going to take in, and getting that movement in will help you stay on the weight loss path. being able to continue to lose weight.
Right. Um,
Do you want to talk about the how we had the difference in our first year?
yeah, that's what I was thinking about just now as you were talking is that, the first year after surgery, I worked out 7 days a week. I I was walking every weekend. I was walking every night before or after dinner, and I was going to the gym every day. I did not miss a day. I mean, we would be on our support group calls, and I would be on an
Yeah.
elliptical while we were all talking on Mary
I remember
Washington.
watching you going, what a badass. I
I
mean,
was just so
honestly.
determined, and I worked hard for it. And I lost um, over 100 pounds that first year.
Yeah.
You, and I'll
I
share
was a
your
little
1 year.
different, where I had a lot of knee, hip, back issues. I actually ended up breaking my back halfway through it, halfway through the first year. Um, I wasn't even halfway, excuse me. It was 3 months after surgery that I broke my back. So had to remember that a little bit. Um, but I went 8 months where I couldn't do extreme workouts or anything like that. I could walk, and that was it. But even then, I wasn't walking a lot because I was injured and
Yeah.
I was a little bit of the old habit snuck in of, oh, I'm hurt. I don't want to work out. I can't work out. I need to let my body heal. And even though my doctor said I could walk a little, I kind of took that as a little's none. And I
Mhm.
really did not work out much that first year. I lost 100 pounds, but I was stalled for a very long time. I did lose 100 pounds before my 1 year, but if it hadn't been for Pam staying with me along this, she had become my berry buddy at that point. Um, I think I would have fallen off and ruined my tool. I really
It
did.
made a difference. It made a
Really did
difference
having
doing it
someone.
together.
Yeah. But soon as we palled back up and soon as my doctor gave me the full release, we started walking again. But I don't think the intensity of our workouts met what it used to be. Like right now, if we go for
Yeah.
a walk, we go for a walk. It's a very relaxed walk. I think that, one of the things we probably both could do is increase our pace a little bit when we do walk, swing our
Yeah.
arms, and maybe even bring
Yeah.
small weights with us.
Yes,
Anything.
those like 2.5,
Mhm.
you know, those 2.5 pound weights, those are great. Um,
I'm thinking about getting a weighted vest, actually. Just
oh
that's
yeah.
something that helps as well.
Yeah.
But if you have back injuries, they suggest not doing it too heavy. It comes with different packets, weights in.
Yeah.
So,
Makes a difference. They make those what are they, like
yes,
beanbag ones, I think.
yes,
And they you can put them on your ankles, you can put them on your wrists.
yes, where they kind of Velcro on. Yes, you can get those at
Yes.
the Five and Below store, even,
Yeah.
which is
But
great.
also, you know, you use what you have.
Mhm.
How many times growing up did we hear like uh like the older generation? I remember my mom working out with cans of beans
Yeah,
or
I've done that. I've had two cans
something
of
like that.
cranberry
Yeah.
sauce because I couldn't have it anymore. And I was like, well, I might as well use it for something. And I was using it as a workout. Yes, I understand that
Yeah.
completely. I mean, using your body to move is is all you need. To be honest, most
Yeah.
people lose the most weight just between walking and doing indoor, like planks, using your body, wall ups, like push ups on the wall.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I don't know a single person that enjoys a burpee at all, but there are other
Not
ways
me.
of doing exercises.
Not
Um,
me.
they have those sitting crunches that you can do, and you hold it and then you twist a little bit and you go down. That gives you such a burn and really works that core.
It
Anything that you
does.
can do to work your core is going to help you with back issues. Just an FYI
Hmm.
for those of you that, may have back issues like I do. So I think this was
Yep.
a good topic tonight, movement, and how we can continue to um, find ways to do it, not only by going to a gym, because, you and I've talked about it. Gyms are expensive. And
They
it's
are.
the point where we're just going to start
And
doing.
they're not convenient. We
No,
found that
because
out the
everything's
hard
on
way.
their time.
Yes.
Mm.
And, there's no excuse for not having movement in your life.
That is
Um, no matter what. At home, you know, go out in the front yard, the backyard, do your driveway, whatever. If you have steps in your house, go up and down the steps.
mhm.
I know sometimes I would avoid, especially when I was overweight, I would avoid doing certain things because it's like, I don't want to go up them steps or down them steps, or I don't want to go outside. Um, or you try to fit 4 or 5 things in so you only had to do it one time.
Right.
Take those extra steps, go
Exactly.
up and down those steps.
Focus on, and here's the other thing too, if you're new to exercise, pick 10 to 15 minutes twice a day. You've
Hmm.
got 10 to 15 minutes and you can do it 2 times in the morning or whatever you can do while you're cooking breakfast for the kids. Stand there and do, leg up, knee ups while you're at the stove, but be careful. Same thing if you're washing dishes, that kind of thing. Or if you're watching your favorite show in the afternoon, you can sit there and just walk around the living room, around the couch, or whatever it may be. Um, it's okay just to walk indoors. You're getting movement.
Yes.
It counts. Every movement.
That that's one of the things you remember. Tanya Spanglo, she was talking about how when she first started her
Yeah.
journey, she would walk around her island in her kitchen, just walk
Yep.
around and around, and then she would walk up and down her driveway, and
Yep.
it's just
Absolutely.
about getting those steps in.
Finding the
And
movement in your day. And it's
walking
above
is
and
the best.
beyond what you do at your job.
Yes, you cannot use what you do. My husband and I, Randy and I, we talk about that a lot because I'll say you need to get more movement in your life. You need to move more. I do. I walk all day long. No, no, no.
That
You
doesn't count.
walk all day long for your job. That's your norm. You have to go above and beyond. You have to challenge yourself. Like when we were doing the workout at the gym the other day, what did she say? She says 10 reps, but if you can do 11, 12, don't stop at 10.
Yes. That
And I
also tells you, though,
remember,
you may need to increase your weight too.
yes, true. And I remember I was pushing for that 11 and 12
And it was to the
on
point, and she said,
everything.
you want that exhaustion, the muscle exhaustion. So you
Yes.
start
And
shaking.
I felt that.
Hmm.
I felt that.
And
But
that's,
it was a good thing.
yes.
It was such a good feeling.
It felt
Yeah.
really great that you accomplished it. You felt like you really did a workout. We've been
Yes.
working out at a gym for a while, and a lot of the stuff we could do at home. And that's
Hmm.
what we have figured out is that, hey, we can do these things at home. Why don't we? We can
Yeah.
save the money for one. Two, we can do it on our time. But three, we can bring it to you
Hmm.
guys and show you how to work
Absolutely.
out at home so that you're able to try to replicate some of that as well and help yourselves.
Yes. I believe, what was it I said? I said, we're paying someone to let us walk in their building.
Exactly. That's exactly what was happening. So I love the fact that taken it upon ourselves. And I love the fact that my husband's downstairs trying to set everything up to make it easy for
I'm
us. So
excited because Thursday.
looking forward to it. So guys, give us some ideas of how you're working out, at home. What do you
Yes.
do to work out? Comment below and let us know. Would love to hear about it. Also, please follow us and share our page. We are going to start doing workouts here to help you add movement into your day to give you ideas because I think that's also a problem is people just don't know what to do that will actually help.
Yes. And we're going to make it fun. Who
Yes,
knows
it's
what we will have you doing? You might be
guys,
twirling a baton or marching in place. Who knows? We're
never
going to
know
do
with
some
us.
silly stuff and enjoy it. You have to make life fun.
Absolutely.
If you make your movement fun, you're more apt to continue with it.
I agree. Well, guys, thank you so much. And we'll take care. Bye.
Bye.